And hello everyone, welcome back to another Lua tutorial. So in this tutorial, I'll be telling you all how to install LuaRocks on Windows. Now, as far as I know, there are 3 ways you can install LuaRocks on Windows. The first way you can do it is by getting the executable, the .exe file, downloading it, and then just using that. However, it doesn't work for me, so I'm assuming it also doesn't work for a lot of you. Another option is to compile it from a source, meaning you have to take the source code for LuaRocks and you have to compile it yourself, which I don't want to do, and I doubt that anyone else would want to do. Now the third option is to use Windows subsystem for Linux. So this is basically where you have a type of Linux on your computer. And I'll be showing you how to not only install or set up Windows subsystem for Linux, I'll show you how to work with everything you need to do in order to install everything you need to use for LuaRocks. Now to make sure we know how it works, I created an example which we can use if I were full screen this. So here we have a main.lua and this file sits here. Right here, so there's main.lua and there's text JSON, which is inside of my documents. Now here, we just read a file. As you can see here, just ignore this part. We read a file, and then we take that file, which has JSON inside of it. You don't need to know what JSON is. You can just copy and paste this into your own text.json file. Anyhow, then we decode it into a Lua table. So we take the JSON and we convert it into a Lua table. And then we access the content inside of it. And we're doing all of this using the Luna.json module, which we installed through LuaRocks. So let me give you a walkthrough on how to set everything up. First, you need to enable Windows Subsystem for Linux, or WSL. You can just say, turn Windows features on or off. If you click on that, you should be prompted with something such as this. Just scroll all the way down until you see this Windows Subsystem for Linux. If it is not checked, then check it. So mine is currently checked because it is already turned on. So you need to check yours if it's not already turned on. Then you can say OK. And it will install it for you. This will take a few minutes, so just give it some time. After it has installed it, you want to reboot your system so it can complete the installation. So you want to go power and then restart. It's going to say it's updating, but all it's actually doing is installing Windows Subsystem for Linux. Now, once your system has rebooted, you need to install Ubuntu. Luckily, you can just go to the Microsoft Store, so Microsoft Store. Right here, Microsoft Store. And in here, you can just search for Ubuntu. I've already searched for it. There it's gone. Ubuntu, like that. And then you can just scroll down until you see Ubuntu 18.04 LTS. You can click on that. And here it will say Get. You just click on Get and it will download and install Ubuntu for you. Once this has been completed, you can just scroll down here and you'll notice this right here. So this is the command you use to start this Ubuntu system. Now I'm going to copy that, so Control C. And then we want to open up either the PowerShell or command prompt. So either command prompt or PowerShell. I'm going to use command prompt so I can look cool. Open that up. Now, to make sure you look like a real hacker, you have to say color O2. There we go. Now, what you can do is you can start up your Windows Subsystem for Linux by right-clicking. Right-clicking will paste whatever you have inside of your clipboard. In this case, I copied this, so it pasted this. And this will start up Ubuntu for me. Now, if it's your first time starting up Ubuntu with the Windows Subsystem for Linux, then you'll have to enter a username and password. This can be anything you want, just keep it simple so you never forget it. Then once you're here, it's pretty simple. First, you want to sudo apt update like that. Press enter. It will ask you for a password. You put in your password, and it will commence to get all of the latest packages it has. Then you want to say sudo apt update, and this will update your Linux system you have. Now I just did an update, so I don't have anything to update, but it will prompt you yes or no to update all of your packages. Just say yes. Once you've said yes, it will update your Linux system to its latest version. Now that you have this, you want to install Lua and LuaRocks. So you can just say sudo apt, and just for in case you don't know, you can also say apt cache search, and this will search the repositories for what you need. In this case, if I say Lua 5, then here it throws out everything I can download. Now you can choose between Lua 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and basically 5.0. I want to get Lua 5.3. So I'm going to say sudo apt install Lua 5.3. And I also want to install LuaRocks. I can just say LuaRocks. Once you do this, it will ask you to install it. You just say yes, I already have it installed, so it's not going to do anything. Now once you have this installed, you can start executing your code. So make sure that right here, you have this code and this JSON file. Make sure you have these, because this is the example we're going to use. Now currently, I am not inside of my Windows machine. I'm inside of Linux. So to get into my Windows machine, I can go cd and then a /, not a /, but a /. This will take me to my root directory. If I say ls, it will show me all of the folders I have inside of this folder. You can just go into cd mnt for mount, and in here you'll see all your drives you have. So I have the C drive and the D drive. To show you an example of this, if I open up my file manager, go to this PC, then this is my C drive. As you can see, there's C, and here's the D drive. Now the C drive, we can go here, and as you see, there's the C drive. To go into that C drive, we can say cd C, and then a /. Now we want to go into users, and then here we can just say cd users. And take note, I'm using a capital case U here because this users also has a capital case U. Then here is Charisse the Brain. You can go into that. That is my current user, who I am. Then here we can also go Charisse the Brain. Then here, to find where my things are, yours might be inside of documents, inside of desktop, inside of downloads, inside of music. Wherever you put your files, you have to go. Mine is inside of OneDrive. So here I also have to go into OneDrive. And you can press tab to let it autocomplete for you. And in here, you'll notice we have a documents folder. If I go into documents, then you'll see I have a Lua folder. And this is where my Lua stuff are. Now I can just go here and say cd documents and then Lua and press enter. Now if I say ls, I should see a main.lua and a text.json. So right here, main.lua and text.json. Now once you are inside of here, you'll see these two here. To run this Lua code, you can just say Lua 5.3 and then main.lua. If I run this, I get Jack, and that means I executed the code inside of this main.lua. To see what's inside the file, I can say cat, which means read, and in main.lua, and you'll notice it's everything I just had inside of VS Code. Luna.json requires Luna.json, and in all of this. Now, one thing I did forget to tell you is how to install Luna.json, because I've showed you how to install LuaRocks. To install Luna.json, you can just say sudo LuaRocks install Luna.json. And let me just resize it a bit so everything's on screen. Oh, so here we go, sudo LuaRocks install Luna.json. And this is how you install any package in LuaRocks. You just say sudo LuaRocks install Luna.json. You press enter, and there we go. So now it should be installed. And now, of course, if you try and run it, it will run your things. To uninstall a package from LuaRocks, you can say sudo LuaRocks. It should be remove Luna.json, and this will uninstall a package. Now, if I were to try and run this code, it will tell me it doesn't know what Luna.json is because I have uninstalled it. And then yet again, to install it again, I can just say sudo LuaRocks install Luna.json. And just like that, you can use LuaRocks. Now take note, whenever you want to run something, you now have to run it inside of your Windows subsystem for Linux, meaning this right here. You cannot run it from Windows, not as far as I know at least, because Luna.json and LuaRocks are both installed on Linux now and not on Windows. This is, to me, is the easiest method around this LuaRocks installation issue we're having. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed and can now finally use LuaRocks on your Windows system. And I'll see you all again in the next Lua tutorial.